I can't do it. That won't work for me. It will work for you. Don't worry about the cash. You go find the deal. Now, these are questions when we're writing the subject to offer to the seller. What do you need? How much money down do you need? How much money do you need per month? And then we simply reverse engineer the deal to meet their needs. We write the offer subject to the inspection, which gives you some negotiating room during the due diligence phase. And then we sell the property. After appreciation, we sell it for a property if we do that, or we can do a lease with an option to buy. We can rent it to tenants with a purchase option, generating rental income and potential sale profits. Now, let me give you 3 case studies of actual live deals where we did this very thing. Okay. Now, this is a house, 1,886 square feet, 5-bedroom, 2-bath in Post Falls, Idaho, right here in our own backyard. And the reason I chose this one as one of our case studies is I want you to look at the house, okay? A lot of people think that the only way you're going to be able to do a subject to deal is if the house is in really bad condition or it's in a bad neighborhood, you know, and it's not a quality piece of property, and that's why the seller is willing to offer financing. That nothing could be further from the truth, okay? Especially now. There's great properties in great neighborhoods where life happens, you know, job transfer, divorce, loss of job, health issue, whatever, they have to sell. And on a larger home, they can't sell because it's above the FHA cap and rates aren't conducive to getting them sold. So a lot of them will just let it go into foreclosure. That's often when we will come in and say, whoa, 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 time out. Why are you losing this house to foreclosure sale? You don't need to lose the house. And then we explain to them how a subject to deal works, okay? Now here on this deal, they were in arrears. So they're about $40,000 upside down. We had to bring that cash in to cure the default. Now, for those of you that are going, well, Lee, I don't have $44,000. How am I gonna do a deal like that? Well, you're going to go find the deal. When you discover you need the 44 grand, you're gonna call my office and then I'm going to help you through it, okay? Cash is never the reason we don't get deals done, okay? Cash is never the reason we don't get deals done. Not investing the time to find the deal for fear of not having the cash is the reason we don't get deals done, okay? Good deals attract capital. Doesn't matter what you look like financially. Don't care about your credit, don't care about your employment status, don't care about your income. Do you have a good deal? Yes or no? If you have a good deal, cash will be attracted to you. So we took over this property. We did an assumption, 3.75% interest. We put $88,000 down. I turned around and sold it to an investor in my office named Michael. He bought it for $271,000. We made a quick $22,000 profit, which was a 25% annualized rate of return on cash. Now, when I tell you that cash is not the reason you don't get deals done, okay? Guys, we made a 25% return on cash in less than 30 days, and we had the buyer identified before we ever took possession of the property. It was the only reason this took 30 days to close was just the title and getting it closed. The buyer had been identified, their cash had been brought to the closing table, everything was ready to go. There was no risk in this deal. And so if you have a deal like this, where you've got it all buttoned up, you got a pretty little bow on it, and the only thing you need to get it closed is 88 grand, there's someone out there willing to put up 88 grand if they can make 12.5% return in the next 30 days on cash. Especially with what happened to the stock market last week. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I participate in our company sponsored 401k because I have to, it's required. But my stock value dropped like 11.5% just in the last 14 days. Meanwhile, our private equity funds for the quarter are paying out 9.5% for the last quarter. So why would I want to have money in the stock market where I'm losing 10%, where meanwhile my real estate investments are at 9.5% plus, 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 or in this case, 25% return on cash? Again, don't worry about what's going on in the White House, worry about what's going on in your own house. And don't freak out about tariffs and everything else. Just simply go out and find good deals, because there are people out there who need your help, that need to know that there's hope, that you have answers, that you have a plan, and you can help them navigate through this difficult process or this difficult period that they're going through in their lives. This is what I love about this business. Yes, we make a profit, but we make a profit by helping and serving other people. Same thing we did on this house, okay? Now, you can see this is a smaller home. They had a notice of default, so they're going into foreclosure. Now, on this one, the people that bought this house, I want to say it was in 2021, they got a 3.375% rate. They bought it for $195,000. Now, when we found them, they were upside down. We had to bring cash into closing. We took over their mortgage. Monthly payment is $954 a month, and we're currently renting this house out for $1,420, okay? That's $465 a month in cash flow. So if we take 465 times 12, we are making $5,580 a year in rent, and we came out of pocket $20,000 to do the deal, which means we're making a 27.9% return on cash. Not to mention that this property is going to appreciate 3.3% in 2025, 4.4% in 2026. And guys, we've got a fixed 30-year loan at 3.375. And we're 4 years into payments on that loan. We've got another 26 years of payments locked in at $954. No credit check, no background check, no employment check, nothing. But Lee, I don't have $20,000. Guys, if you have a deal that you need $20,000 to get done and a 27.9% return on cash, I can assure you there is somebody out there looking for a place that they can shove their money where they're getting better, safer rates of return than what they're currently getting in the stock market. But Lee, I didn't lose money in my 401k unless I sell, and I'm not going to sell. So, all right. So my son just turned 18. And he says, Dad, I want to learn to invest, and I think I want to put money in the stock market. I said, okay, well, why don't you put money into real estate? He says, well, I don't have that much money, and I want to learn the stock business. I said, okay. So he opens a, what's that website where you can trade? Robinhood. There you go. Thank you. So he opens up a Robinhood account, puts $1,000 in there. And over the last 90 days, he was showing me, over the last 90 days, he's lost almost $250. So he went from $1,000 to $750. And he's like beside himself, like, Dad, this investing thing is terrible. Now, it doesn't help that when he was 13, or maybe he was 11, we helped him buy an ounce of gold. Now, what we did is he said, Dad, I want to invest. So he says, I want to buy gold. We said, okay, well, look, if you buy an ounce of gold, we'll split it with you and we'll put up half. So I think it was 2010 or 2011. He bought an ounce of gold. He put up $550 because it was $1,100. And I don't know if you guys checked, but yesterday gold was going $3,300 an ounce. And he said, well, my gold's doing so well. Why is my stock portfolio doing so poorly? And I said, well, that's why we diversify, son. We have some gold, we have some stock, we have some real estate, we have some bonds, we have some in cash and mutual funds. We diversify. I said, but Preston, that's my son's name. I said, Preston, here's what you need to understand. I said, as I'm sitting here looking at your Robinhood account, I said, meanwhile, if you look at my real estate portfolio, not a single one of my properties went down in value in the last 90 days. Not a single one of my rental income went down in the last 90 days. Real estate is a much better, more stable investment. And yes, people made a lot of money in the stock market over the last 10 years. We had this massive bull run that we haven't seen in history. Well, I believe that bull run is over. And I believe there's going to be more carnage in the stock markets. And just my opinion, I'm not a financial advisor, so this is my opinion. I'm not giving financial advice. I would be looking at taking some, if most of my wealth is in stocks, I'd be looking at getting some of it out so that I could put into the things where I'm going to get better rates of return. Now, what I just said is what a lot of people are doing right now. Here's the problem. When they take money out of stock and they cash it in and they absorb the loss, they don't know where to put it, right? So it's one thing to recognize that I need to have cash in better places doing better things, but it's something else to recognize, do you have a vehicle or an outlet through which to deploy the cash, And the answer to that question for most people is absolutely not. They don't. They work full time, they're successful, they're professional. They might have 50 or 100 grand laying around. They could do a deal like this with you all day long, but they don't know where to go. They don't know how to create the deal, develop the deal, that they could even put cash into it. Which is why I want to say last month we sold almost $5 million in mortgage notes just in the last 30 days. $5 million just in the last 30 days to investors looking for yield. And if you guys go to our website at securedinvestmentcorp.com, you guys can see we've got like $30 million worth of notes that are right now for sale, paying anywhere from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12% rates of return. 5 million in note sales. Why would we have such a high volume of note sales when the stock market is tanking? It's simple. They're cashing out, getting their money out of stocks, and they're putting into something that's backed by real estate, secured by real property, in first trustee position, where they're getting great rates of return. So why is this important to you? Why does this matter to you? Because these deals that I'm showing you guys, you can't let cash be the reason that you automatically say, I can't do it. That won't work for me. It will work for you. Don't worry about the cash. You go find the deal. When you find the deal and you need cash, you call my office. I will look at the deal. I'll review the deal. And if I think the deal has merit and is a good deal, I'll make some recommendations. Hey, I know so-and-so's looking for some cash in that area. You should maybe call them. Okay. Now look at this one. This one we just closed. This one's actually under contract, and this one is selling on April 11th. So we are 4 days away from closing on this deal. Let me tell you the numbers. Okay, so this was a property that was in foreclosure, and my acquisition team had went out and met with them, and they were like, no, we're gonna take care of it. We don't need your help. And literally like within 4 days before this thing goes to auction, they call us back. So they procrastinated, they waited to the last minute. So Michael goes out and he meets with the owners at Starbucks and he gets a signed contract. Now, of course, when they're at Starbucks, he asks them, what kind of condition is the property in? As they say, oh, it's a beautiful home and there's nothing wrong with it. Well, you guys know our process, right? Meet with the seller, find out how much they want or how much they need, write the offer for that amount, subject to home inspection, okay? Home inspector goes out there, we get the 80-page report, it goes to the estimator at our construction company who goes through all of the things that the estimator calls out and then says it's gonna cost X number of dollars to fix it, okay? Now on this one, we asked them, how much is it gonna cost to fix the property? And they said, oh, it probably only needs like $20,000 worth of work. Our rehab estimate came in at $79,000. And so we went back and said, we can't pay you what you're asking because it needs $79,000 worth of repair, and we negotiated the price down. So we brought in 135 grand in cash, subject to an underlying loan of 109. That's a 1,003 monthly payment. We go in, we clean it up, we fix it up, and then we offer seller financing.